कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना। यमुना तीरावनचारी। यमुना तीरावनचारी। राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा, प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा। धाई गौर प्रेमानंदे। श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की, श्री श्री गौर निताई की, श्री गोपाल जी की, राधा गोपीजन वल्लभ की, जय जनार्दन स्वामी की। धाई गौर प्रेमानंदे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं, देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया। भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। So today we are reading from third canto Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 9, text number 21. यन्नाभिपद्मभवनादहमासमिड्य लोकत्रयोपकरणो यदनुग्रहेण तस्मै नमस्त उदरस्तभवाय योग निद्रावसान विकसन्नलिनेक्षणाय यन्नाभिपद्मभवनादहमासमिड्य लोकत्रयोपकरणो यदनुग्रहेण तस्मै नमस्त उदरस्तभवाय योग निद्रावसान विकसन्नलिनेक्षणाय यन्नाभिपद्मभवनादहमासमिड्य लोकत्रयोपकरणो यदनुग्रहेण तस्मै नमस्त उदरस्तभवाय योग निद्रावसान विकसन्नलिनेक्षणाय यन्नादिभिपद्मभवनादहमासमिड्य लोकत्रयोपकरणो यदनुग्रहेण तस्मै नमस्त उदरस्तभवाय योग निद्रावसान विकसन्नलिनेक्षणाय यन्नाभिपद्मभवनादहमासमिड्य लोकत्रयोपकरणो यदनुग्रहेण तस्मै नमस्त उदरस्तभवाय योग निद्रावसान विकसन्नलिनेक्षणाय माताजी यन्नाभिपद्मभवनादहमासमिड्य लोकत्रयोपकरणो यदनुग्रहेण तस्मै नमस्त उदरस्तभवाय योग निद्रावसान विकसन्नलिनेक्षणाय यत् यन्नाभिपद्मभवनादहमासमिड्य लोकत्रयोपकरणो यदनुग्रहेण तस्मै नमस्त उदरस्तभवाय योग निद्रावसान विकसन्नलिनेक्षणाय यत् whose नाभि navel padma lotus bhavanath from the house of aham I asam became manifested idya O worshipable one lokatraya the three worlds upakaranaya helping in the creation of yat whose anugrahena by the mercy tasmai unto him namaha my obeisances te unto you udarastha situated within the abdomen Bhavaya, having the universe. Yoga Nidra Vasana, after the end of that transcendental sleep. Vikasat, blossoming. Nalina Ikshanaya, unto him whose opening eyes are like lotuses. Translation. O object of my worship, I am born from the house of your lotus navel for the purpose of creating the universe by your mercy. All these planets of the universe were stationed within your transcendental abdomen while you were enjoying sleep. Now, your sleep having ended, your eyes are open like blossoming lotuses in the morning. Purport. Brahma is teaching us the beginning of Archana regulations from the morning 4 o'clock to night 10 o'clock. Early in the morning, the devotee has to rise from his bed and pray to the Lord. There are other regulatory principles for offering Mangala Arati early in the morning. Foolish non-devotees, not understanding the importance of Archana, they criticize the regulative principles, but they have no eyes to see that the Lord also sleeps by His own sweet will. The impersonal conception of the Supreme is so detrimental to the path of bhakti that it is very difficult to associate with the stubborn non-devotees who always think in terms of material conceptions. Impersonalists always think backwards. They think that because there is a form in the matter, the spirit should be also formless. Because in matter there is sleep, in spirit there cannot be sleep. Because the sleeping of the deity is accepted in Archana worship, the Archana is Maya. All these thoughts are basically material. To think either positively or negatively is still thinking materially. Knowledge accepted from the superior source of the Vedas is standard. Here in the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, we find that Archana is recommended. Before Brahma took up the task of creation, he found the Lord sleeping on the serpent bed in the waves of the water of devastation. Therefore, sleeping exists in the internal potency of the Lord. And this is not denied by pure devotees of the Lord like Brahma and his disciplic succession. It is clearly said here that the Lord slept very happily within the violent waves of the water, manifesting thereby that he is able to do anything and everything by his transcendental will and not to be hampered by any circumstances. The Mayavadi cannot think beyond this material experience, and thus he denies the Lord's ability to sleep in the water. His mistake is that he compares the Lord to himself, and that comparison is also a material thought. The whole philosophy of the Mayavadi school, based on not this, not that, neti, neti, is basically material. Such thought cannot give one the chance to know the Supreme Personality of Godhead as He is. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. थोड़ा सा आवाज. श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टम स्थापितम येन भूतले स्वयं रूपक कदा मह्यम ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you to Srimad Bhagavatam session in the morning. Very interesting topic is been touched here. To consider the Supreme Lord as a person or as energy. That is a debate between the impersonalists and the devotees. The devotees understand that they are persons and the Supreme Lord is a person. And as we have some propensities, those propensities exist in the Supreme Lord originally. That is why they exist in us also. So no doubt the body needs to sleep because of the requirement of rejuvenation. But by the sweet will, Lord also desires to sleep. Lord doesn't require liver, spleen, heart, intestines, brain rejuvenation. Because his organs are divya. They are not made of Pancha Mahabhuta. But because he is divine and he is supremely independent, he can choose to sleep. He doesn't need to sleep. He can be awake eternally. Lakshmanji was also awake for 14 years by his desire. But he chooses to sleep. Isn't he sleeping in Karana ocean as Mahavishnu? Karana Sagara, Karana Udaka Shahi Vishnu. What is he doing? He is just sleeping. All the time sleeping. Only in between once he wakes up for a moment and does drishtipat on the combination of material energy and material elements, gets them activated just by glancing, again goes to sleep. And what we do in sleeping, while we sleep, we breathe and our heart beats. So he breathes. And when he breathes in, all the manifested universes are absorbed. When he breathes out, they are produced from the pores of his body as the seeds of universe. And then they develop. So you can imagine this personality is doing such a powerful work simply during sleeping. Doesn't have to be also awake. So that is the Leela. So when you think the Lord as not a person, then all this becomes absurd. Or Kapol Kalpit Katha, that means just imagination. To amuse children or to do recreation or entertainment. But this is difference between entertainment and manoranjan and the reality. And bhakti, one of the definitions, please Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, don't distribute during katha. So, what I was telling? Hare Krishna. So the Lord doesn't have to be bound by the rules of material world or material nature. He is free to do whatever he wants and he does whatever he wants. So the whole creation takes place during his sleep because he chooses to do like that. He can choose to sleep and create. He can also choose to be awake and create. So, although sleep is a very important aspect of rejuvenation, for stability, for peace, for health, it is not so in the personality of Godhead. In our case, to remain stable, we need sleep and we must sleep. Most of the people, they don't know this. They work hard and hard and hard and they become sleep deprived. And then their function gets affected. They become unstable. They become irritable. They become defocused. So this is our case. But when we start comparing ourselves with the Lord, then there is disparity. We think our Lord, so-called Lord, whatever they feel, is energy, not a person, but whatever he is like us only. So whatever is there in me must be there in him. So if I fall asleep because of tiredness, he also must be falling asleep. But they feel he doesn't sleep. And all this is false, what we do in worship. So I got reminded of the story that when Narad Muni went to meet went to have darshan of Radharani with Ashtasakhis at Kusum Sarovar. At that time, he was transferred into Naradiya Gopi and taken into the middle of the lotus, where Ratna Singhasan was there and Radha and Shyam Sundar were sitting. And the Sakhis were serving nicely. So after that service was done, Radharani instructed Narad Muni, please write Narada Pancharatri Ki. That means Pancharatri Ki Vidhi, a literature. So he said, I am cursed by Daksha not to stay more than 3 days in a place. So how do I stay? So she said, this is my kingdom, this is not material world. The curse of Daksha is applicable in the material world. This is my home, not material world. So you can stay as long as you want, but do right. So what is that Pancharatri Ki Vidhi? It is right from waking up in the morning to sleeping, not for us, for the Lord. What to do with the Lord's deity, Archa Vigraha. So essential aspect is worship. But one of the essential aspect is to put him to sleep and to wake him up. Why we do that? Srila Prabhupada said that Krishna is Adokshaja. He is beyond the limit of the senses for him to be perceived by us. Our senses are not capable to perceive the divine because the senses are not divine. So in such condition of incompatibility or disparity, Krishna wanted him to be available to be perceived within the realm and range of the senses. So he became Archa Vigraha. In the form of Archa Vigraha, he brought himself within the range of perception of the senses and allowed all of us to worship him so that we can relate to him as a person. And once you have that approach to Krishna, then he also reciprocates. You don't have to even install the deities. Even you have faith and you welcome the deities at home. In Mira Road area, the Lord came in the dream of the lady of the house and said, I'm thirsty, give me water. So she woke up in panic and she saw that she had forgotten to put water on the altar in the night before sleeping. So immediately she put water. So it's not installed deity. It's a matter of faith. When you relate to the Lord as a person, he will relate to you as a person. When you relate to him as a stone, wood or painting, he will remain as stone, wood or painting for us. Ye yatha mam prapadyanti. Mayavadis read this verse in Bhagavad Gita. Ye yatha mam prapadyanti. But they forget that when I relate to the Murti as stone, the Murti will relate to me as a stone. For me it will be stone. That they forget. And also forget that when I relate to the Murti as a person, as per the shloka in Bhagavad Gita which they believe, he will relate to me as a person. But still they choose to believe, even though he will relate to me as a person, but originally he is not a person. So there is a big problem in the understanding. So you may do the same things. Even in Brahmavadi mandirs, they have deities, they do offering, they do worship, they do everything. But they don't believe that he is there in the deity. They feel that Param Tattva is there in me also, in the deity also, in fellow devotee also, anybody else also. In the mountain also, in the river also, in the stone also. That is called Brahma Darshan. So Brahma, when you see the principle of Brahma in everything, according to the Mayavadi philosophy, it doesn't need to sleep. It's always awake. Like the question can be asked, when you sleep, does the Paramatma sleep or awake? Essentially, Paramatma is awake. Because he is always observing, he is always watching. He is the most important witness of everything what you do. But if he wants to sleep, he can sleep. He is not forced by our conception to sleep or not to sleep. The most essential principle Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, that our approach to the whole spiritual life is that Krishna is a person. The Supreme Lord is a person. Even in Bhaktivedanta Hospital, our spiritual care is based on some guideline principles. And the foremost of all the principles of guideline of the spiritual care in Bhaktivedanta is The Supreme Lord is a person. We are persons. The holy name is the means between the two of us to be connected. Or the holy name is the means to connect between us and the Supreme Person. It becomes so simple. There is no philosophical jargon in this. And most of all, it is not just philosophical discussion, it is the truth. Truth presented in philosophy, that's all. And the spiritual life is defined as the process of knowing the truth as it is. Not as we think it is. Not as we think it was. But as it is. To understand and to get familiar with the truth as it is actually bhakti. And this principle of bhakti, to know the Supreme Lord as He is not possible by any of our endeavors. By my sadhana, by my 64 rounds, by my vrata on Ekadashi and Janmashtami, and by my pilgrimage, by my donation, by my tapaha. No means, no variety of means of spiritual activities can give you bhakti. Then what can give bhakti? Is the mercy of a pure devotee. When a pure devotee blesses you, then bhakti grows. We are just convincing a pure devotee that I want bhakti by our sadhana. But to think that my sadhana will give me bhakti is illusion. That we have to understand. There is, you can do tapaha on your own, you can do dana on your own, you can do pilgrimage on your own, you can do yajna on your own, you can do so many things on your own. But to develop bhakti is not on your own. It is kripa. So, by serving the pure devotees and by pleasing them through our service, as a goal of the service, we get the mercy. Through the pleasure of a pure devotee, we get blessed with the seed, bhakti lata bij, and then our devotion grows. Now, whether the Lord is sleeping or not, there are so many stories. For example, every evening Krishna is coming from pasture grounds after cow herding, and then he is bathed, he is dressed freshly, he is given breast milk, he is given sweetmeats, and then there is lullaby, the song of sleeping. Soja, soja. And then he goes to sleep. He is sleeping every day. But what happens after sleeping? He multiplies or expands into two. One, Yashoda Krishna is sleeping. And the other one who comes out of him is Gopi Krishna, goes to play Ras Leela. And one Krishna is sleeping at the home of Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, nicely whole night. And early morning when she comes to wake him up, that time Gopi Krishna comes and merges into Yashoda Krishna. And Yashoda will wake up her Krishna. So every day he is sleeping. Radharani is also sleeping. In the cradle, sometimes Krishna is sleeping. Sometimes on the bed he is sleeping. Sometimes in the lap of Yashoda he is sleeping. Balram is sleeping. One time Krishna Balram went to Yashoda Mai's hometown, Mehrano. That means in Nani's place. A whole day they played. And when the children play whole day, their calves and legs have pain. So the mothers, they massage. Every child, every single child, in the night the mother is massaging the painful legs and calves. So both the mothers did that. And then Krishna said, I am feeling very sleepy, but you tell me the story. So Yashodamai said, which story? So he said, Ramayana, I want to hear Ramayana. So Yashodamai said, if you are hearing the story, you keep saying, So till you say, I will continue. If I hear that you are not doing that, then I will stop, because I know you are going to sleep. So she starts telling the story. And Krishna is saying, Balram is also, And they all are hearing nicely. And Yashodamai is just in the flow of story. She didn't realize. She stayed. Ravan came and stole Sita. Now there was no this time. Krishna just woke up and he was so angry. He said, Lakshman, Lakshman, bring my bow and arrow. I want to kill Ravan. He's stealing Sita. So poor fellow Balram was sleeping. He also woke up. So Lakshman, Lakshman, yes brother, I will bring. And suddenly he turned into green. He was blue. He turned into green. And he had bow and arrow in his hand. And Yashoda looked other side. Even Balramji had turned to Lakshman with bow and arrow. And her lips were trembling. Eyes were red. They were so angry. And they were also sweating because of the excitement. Yashoda and Rohini were bewildered. So they just pacified Krishna, Balaram. No, 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 it is all the past. It's not now. It's a story. It has happened millions of years back. You just cool down. So Krishna, the Ram, now in the Ram's form, cooled down, became blue, and went to sleep. Balramji, now in the form of Lakshman, cooled down. The Dhanusha Bhana disappeared. He also became Balram and went to sleep. And now they are fast asleep in the lap of Mother Yashoda and Rohini. And Yashoda is saying, what happened? What happened? So Rohini is saying, don't worry. They keep playing these dramas in the daytime when they are playing in the pastures. So, sometimes in the dream also it comes. So he must have woken up in the dream. But I was telling him stories. So they concluded that we don't know what's happening. They are sleeping, let us go to sleep. What is the meaning of the story? That Krishna is trying to exhibit Aishwarya and it is getting defeated by the Madhurya love of two mothers. So result is they don't understand. Because they are subjected not to understand Aishwarya. But the point I am trying to make is, they went to sleep. And then, in the pastures when Krishna and Balaram are herding cows, Krishna gets tired. And Balaram gives his lap. And Krishna sleeps nicely. Sometimes he gives his feet in Balaram's lap. And Balaram is massaging his feet. And he's sleeping nicely. Sometimes he puts his head in the lap of Balaramji. Or in Subal's lap. And he's sleeping nicely, taking rest. Many times he takes rest. In Choti Bhatain, Badi Bhatain, there are two places where both the brothers take rest in between the cow herding pastimes. Mostly after Prasad, they take rest. So when Akrur was going to Mathura, what was happening? Akrur said, I will take bath because Jamuna is there. So you want to take bath, Krishna Balaram? No, we are okay. We will see the nice scenery here. So Akrura went under the water and he saw Vishnu sleeping nicely on the bed of the snake. That means these two boys, he could understand from his realization that these two boys are only here inside. One boy is becoming the snake at the bed and the other boy is sleeping on that in the form of Vishnu. It was not just imagination or a dreamy situation or an illusory situation. It was a fact. So he came out. He said, I told them not to come. They didn't come. But how they came? But they were still on the chariot. So he again went underwater to take a dip. And again he saw the same boy on the chariot, Krishna, became Vishnu and sleeping on the snake bed of Balram. So, Krishna is sleeping. What do we say? When Krishna has to do tapaha, he goes to northmost, Badrinath. When Krishna has to do political activities, he goes to west, Dwarka. When Krishna wants to eat, he goes to east, Jagannath Puri. And when he gets tired and he wants to sleep, he goes to south. So everywhere in the south he is sleeping. They worship sleeping Lord. They feed sleeping Lord. They do all the puja. They wake him up also in sleeping position. Imagine. And Vibhishan is blessed by the Lord that before these people wake me up, you come and wake me up and offer your puja and go. So before the pujaris of today, they have their Mangala Arati. When they open the door, they see wet chandan, fresh tulsi and all the puja paraphernalia already there, done by Vibhishan. And then they do their worship. But what the Lord is essentially doing? Sleeping. Only Janardhan Swami is standing. Rest everybody is sleeping. It is so actually wonderful. We are tuned or trained or habituated to worship the standing Lord. But in South India, everybody is trained to worship the sleeping Lord. They dress him in a sleeping position, they worship him, they feed him, they do all artis in the sleeping position. And Lord is sleeping nicely. One time, Krishna Balram were playing in Koshi. And then Krishna Balram were told by his friends, we have heard that you are Vishnu and you are Ananta Shesha. He said, no, I am your friend. I am ordinary coward boy. I am born in your family. I am your brother. He said, no. Then the gopis came. They said the same thing. He said, no. Then they said, you show us that form. He said, no, I am not. I am an ordinary coward boy. He said, if you don't show, we will not talk to you. Now that is a big threat. The personified fear is fearful of Krishna. And Krishna is fearful of threat of the gopis and coward boys. Now what is the threat? We will not take you in our play. If you don't do this what we want, we will not take you in our play. Now he has left all the opulences and happiness of Vaikuntha to come down and play with these coward boys and coward girls and steal their butter. And if they reject him, how morose he will become. So immediately he accepts. And he shows them Ananta Shesha form and Vishnu lying on that. That is called Shesha Shahi. Shesha is Balramji and one who is sleeping, Shahi, is Vishnu. So Krishna became Shesha Shahi Vishnu and Balram became Shesha. Today also you go to Shesha Shahi, you will get darshan of Krishna Balram. So in Vrindavan Dham, they are not Vishnu and Ananta Shesha. They are Krishna and Balram only, showing that form to gopis and coward boys. So there are unlimited proofs like this. Lord Ram would sleep in the lap of Mother Yashoda and she would sing beautiful songs to wake him up in the morning. The singers would, when Ram, Lakshman, Shatrughna, Bharat, they were a little grown up, then the singers would come in the morning and sing to wake them up. And they would wake up on the beautiful songs sung by Magadha Bandi and Suta, singers. That is a tradition. So the Supreme Lord, when he is coming as Supreme Lord, also sleeping. When the Supreme Lord comes as a Manushya to perform Leela on the earth, also he is sleeping. But at times when he wants to be awake, in the form of Lakshman, he is awake for 14 years. Because we sleep under the spell of the Maya or under the spell of the material energy. We get exhausted and biologically we go to sleep. But Krishna sleeps by his own sweet will and Krishna remains awake by his sweet will. That is why what he does is divine, what we do is material. What he does is divya and what we do is material. That's why we say Janma Karma Chame Divyam. In that karma, sleep also comes. So Janma Karma Nidra Chame Divyam. Everything is Nidra. Everything is Divya. Hare Krishna. So, to conclude, the whole process of deity worship is to perceive Krishna within the range of our senses, to understand Krishna as a person, to develop closeness with him and to develop love for him. It is also explained that when one is too much haunted by material desires, uncontrollably, then he should engage in deity worship. Because engaging in deity worship will free you from uncontrollable material desires. Even if you are not a Brahmin or not having time to go on the altar to serve the deities, but if you come to see the deities every day, that is also deity worship. Somebody is worshipping, you are coming to see. And when you see, you don't see, you behold. You look very intently with every item, every organ of the Lord's body and meditate on that. Meditating like that on the body of the Lord is also deity worship. And that also will help you to get free from uncontrollable material desires. Hare Krishna. So today we have 3 Goswamis disappearance day. I will like to spend some time in discussing. One of them is Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami is one of the most mysterious and unique Goswami. I will tell you briefly. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami is Raga Manjari in his Krishna's pastimes. His role is Raga Manjari, one of the Manjaris. He was born in 1505. He passed away in 1579. And 3 Goswamis passed away on the same day, on same Tipti of Ashwin Shukla Dvitiya, that is today, but in different years. The first one is Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, who passed away in 1579. In 1581, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami passed away. And in 1582, Raghunath Das Goswami passed away. Before we go into their life, we have to understand that when these 3 devotees passed away, or they were there as old people, in fact, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami completed Chaitanya Charitamrita writing in 1580. And after that, 1581, he passed away. At that time, the Yavanas were so aggressive, they were so hatredful, that they would not only destroy the deities of Hindus, but they would dig out the bodies of great Hindu saints, which were given samadhi, because they were renounced order of life. They would take out the bodies and, destroy them, mutilate them, desecrate them, and destroy them. So, each and everybody's body which was put in the samadhi were disrespected like that. Helplessly we had to watch. So, Jiva Goswami took a very wonderful decision that now onwards we will not bury the body of sannyasis. We will cremate them, turn their remains into ashes, and we will put the ash and make a samadhi of that. So what they will do with digging the samadhi with ashes? So that way dignity also is maintained. So there is a authority given to an acharya to change the norm as per the situation. I always feel it's a very genius move. It's a great genius move from Jiva Goswami. So he did cremation, Daha Sanskar of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and put their bodies into the ashes into samadhi. And there is a place at Radhakund called Teen Samadhi, where all these 3 samadhis are in one place and worshipped in one place. While these samadhis were originally the original where the original ash was put, the remaining ash of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was put in Radha Damodar temple next to Jiva Goswami's samadhi. So we also have Pushpa Samadhi of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami with this part of the ash in Radha Damodar temple. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami's remaining ash was put in 64 samadhis next to Radha Govinda temple in Vrindavan. So there is one samadhi of Pushpa Samadhi of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami in the area of 64 samadhis in Vrindavan next to Radha Govinda temple. And Raghunath Das Goswami's, all the ashes were put in at the banks of Radha Kund. So we don't have, I think, additional extra samadhi of Raghunath Das Goswami. Everything is there in the bank of Radha Kund, where the temple of Radha Gopinath is, where Radha Gopinath ji stayed for some time on the way from Vrindavan to Jaipur. So this is the most important thing. So Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was son of Tapan Mishra. He was born in 1503. And in 1505, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami's father, that is Tapan Mishra, the Brahmana, moved on the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Banaras. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Banaras, Raghunath Bhatta was 9-year-old. And when Lord Chaitanya went to Banaras, he was staying at the house of Chandrasekhar Acharya, but eating his lunch at Tapan Mishra's house. He also went there to teach Sambandha Gyan to Sanatana Goswami, and he stayed for 2 months. So all those 2 months, little Raghunath, who was 9-year-old, got the chance to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He would approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with so much humility and massage his feet wash his clothes, put him to sleep, help him to sleep, feed him nicely, do every menial service. In the process, when time came to leave, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was leaving, Raghunath Bhatta became very, very, very sorry as a child. Very attached. He wanted to go with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Similarly like Gopal Bhatta Goswami. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you stay back and you serve your parents. In fact, after 6 years, he went to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. But Jagannath Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu received him, treated him nicely, gave him Jagannath Mahaprasad, gave him a lot of mercy. But he said, you please go back and you serve your parents. So he went back, and as an order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he served his parents, Tapan Mishra and mother, very nicely for a long time till they passed away. And then he went, he got a message from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to go to Vrindavan and to assist Rupa and Sanatan. So he went to Vrindavan, and under the guidance of Rupa Goswami, he was awarded the worship of Radha Govinda. By that time, Radha Govinda was manifested by the efforts of Rupa Goswami. So he worshipped Rupa Goswami's Radha Govinda with great devotion. He would decorate them very beautifully. One of the most important activity of his, as per the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, chant Hare Krishna and be immersed in chanting Hare Krishna and read Srimad Bhagavatam as life and soul. So by that instruction, Srimad Bhagavatam became life and soul of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. But the speciality of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was, because Srimad Bhagavatam was life and soul of Sanatana Goswami also. The Lord came in the dream as a Brahmana and gave him Srimad Bhagavatam. The same Brahmana came in the morning and gave him Srimad Bhagavatam. So that became life and soul for Sanatana Goswami also. But the unique nature of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami would sing Srimad Bhagavatam in 6 different tunes. And to hear his melodious and sweet and devotional Srimad Bhagavatam, saintly people, rishis, munis would come from far distances just to hear him sing Srimad Bhagavatam. So when I was reciting today's Bhagavatam shloka, I was trying to remember Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. How sweetly he would have sung this verse. And then he also, there is apparently, maybe we don't know, as historical research we don't know, but apparently there is no literature left behind by Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Well, everybody has left some literature behind. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, everybody. Das Goswami also. And Raghunath Bhatta Goswami has one big contribution. Akbar's Senapati, Raja Man Singh, was a disciple of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So he instructed Man Singh, you please build the temple for Radha Govinda. So under his order and leadership, the temple of Radha Govinda was built. And that time Rupa Goswami is staying in Radha Damodar temple to do his bhajan. So this is Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Raga Manjari, and how he made Srimad Bhagavatam his life and soul. It's very, very inspiring. The second person who left his body today is Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami's life story is so inspiring, so inspiring. These 5 minutes will not be enough. But nonetheless, we should know he was the son of Govardhan Mujumdar. And at his time, 20 lakh gold coins was their annual income. We cannot imagine. We're talking about almost 500 years back. Out of which 12,000 gold coins he would give as tax. He was, when they're so rich, you cannot imagine. We have some conception of some rich people in India today or in the world. But Govardhan Mujumdar's and his brother's wealth couldn't be understood by all of us. It's not possible. So he was the only heir of all this wealth. But he was not interested. So they got him married with such a woman. It is said that she was more beautiful than any Swarga lady, any Apsara. And she was endowed with such good qualities. Even demigoddesses would not have the quality. So beauty-wise, culture-wise, she was the best of best lady. And she was married with this. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also told him, go back, don't run away, do your duties nicely. And he gave example, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave example that when some girl, married woman, is in love with some other man, then she does her household duties with the real husband very nicely, so that he is so happy, he has no doubt or no question in mind, so she can go and meet peacefully her boyfriend. Imagine that kind of a signal or coded message Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave Das Goswami, who is going to be the most renowned person in the future. So what is the message? Do your household duties so nicely that your love for Krishna may not be doubted by anybody and nobody will disturb you. So he did his work so beautifully that nobody ever doubted. When time came to run away, nobody actually thought he'll run away. And he ran away. In between, he saved his uncle and father from a big financial scam by his expertise. How expert he was in doing his duties as per the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is proved. There was a problem due to financial misappropriation. And Raghunath Das Goswami, that time Raghunath, with such sweet words and genuine nature and gentle nature, he won the heart of Nawab. And Nawab immediately released him from jail, Raghunath, and also solved the mystery with their uncles and father. Anyway, we'll come straight to Radhakund now. Then at one point of time, he went to Jagannath Puri and he became sannyasi and he started eating the remnants thrown away by the cows at Simhadwara. Amazing personality. Our acharyas say that Raghunath Das Goswami's renunciation, nobody can imitate. If anybody, even partly or small point of view, try to imitate Raghunath Das's renunciation, he or she will die. There is no other fate of that person. He was drinking what we call as chullu bhar. You know chullu bhar? What is chullu? What can be accommodated in the whole of the palm. That is called chullu. That much yogurt is required to put in the milk in the night to make it into yogurt. That is called chullu. That is the palm full. That much buttermilk he would drink once in 3 days while cursing himself as a bhogi. That kind of renunciation he had. So one time Janma Devi came to meet all the Goswamis in Vrindavan from Bengal. And she met everybody and she asked, where is Raghunath? They said he's only accepting a palm full of buttermilk once in 3 days, so he's very weak. He's all time doing bhajan at Radhakund. So Janma Devi, who is she? She is the wife of Nityanand Prabhu. She was the world acharya that time, after Nityanand Prabhu left this world. So she went all the way to Radhakund and met him, and he offered many dandavats to her. And he was doing katha every day for 3 hours about Lord Chaitanya's memories he would share. And how the story katha began? Because when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed away from this world, left this world, Raghunath Das Goswami was so sorry, so sad, so much plunged in the ocean of sorrow that he thought, I should commit suicide. I should climb the mountain of Govardhan and jump and give up my body. And Sanatana Goswami immediately understood the mind of Raghunath. And he called him and said, whom do you think your body belongs? Your body belongs to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You are a sannyasi. Sannyasi has no independent existence. He is not only body but mind and soul also is sold out to the master. So now the body that you want to destroy doesn't belong to you. So what right do you have to destroy another's property? So even great souls need some enlightenment at certain occasions. When they go into ecstatic feelings, they need some divine enlightenment by another pure devotee. So he said, why don't you, instead of feeling so sorry, why don't you narrate your memories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the fellow devotees at Radhakund, so that your fire of separation can get pacified and others will get benefited. So he started doing the katha of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in that assembly, even Janma Devi would sit and attend. And in that assembly, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was also there. and he would take notes. And then he would, and that's how Chaitanya Charitamrita has come up. The first half of life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took Kadchas, the memories of Murari Gupta. Then he took some references from the diary of Swarup Damodar Goswami. And the later half of life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he directly spoke because he was part of the second half of the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that's how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can imagine, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who also passed away today, he is Kasturi Manjiri, his original form in Krishna Leela. And he was the second generation after 6 Goswamis. That's why we offer immediately after Shar Goswamis Ahuti to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in our Yagya. Immediately after 6 Goswamis, Krishnadas Kavaye Namaha Swaha. And he was 90 years old. He had deficient hearing. He had defective vision. He was bent at the hip level. He was very old. And he was saying, how will I write? In such an old age, physically incapacitated, how will I write? So what did he do? He was ordered by devotees to write. So he went to all the devotees and took their blessings. How are we able to do any devotional service? We begin it by mercy of pure devotee, and we can do it only by the mercy of other Vaishnavas. We cannot hope or imagine to do any bhakti without the blessings of devotee. And it is such an important seva. Even Haridas Thakur, such an exalted Namacharya, such an age-wise also so senior, but when time came to pass away, he was bowing down to the most junior devotee and touching their feet and taking their blessings to go back to Godhead. So even an exalted soul who is eligible to go back to Godhead, when time comes to go back to Godhead, he also begs blessing from the most junior devotee. So Krishnadas Kaviraj went to all the devotees and took their blessings to write the life story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he went to Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and Gopal Bhatta Goswami also doing bhajan at the banks of Radhakund. He said, I give my blessings only on one condition: my name should not appear anywhere. While he is a very important part of Chaitanya Charitamrita, I mean life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But you see the story of Gopal Bhatta, Sri Rangam, nothing is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But you find that in Bhakti Ratnakar, written by Narahari Sarkar. But in whole Chaitanya Charitamrita, Gopal Bhatta Goswami's name is not there. Because that's how he gave his blessing, so he had to keep his word. So this is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Such a fag end of life he wrote. And he writes again and again, I am incapable, I am not worthy, I am not qualified, but simply by the order of Rupa and Sanatan and Raghunath, I am writing this. Repeatedly he writes that. By the mercy and order of Rupa and Raghunath, I am attempting to write. And one of the most important things repeatedly comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He says that I cannot describe what I am seeing. That means what? He was not just writing from memories, he also had a vision while he was writing. Whatever he was able to watch, he was writing. And he says, I cannot describe what I am watching. Like if Radhanath Swami is dancing and somebody is told to write, how is he dancing? You cannot write. You have to have a video to see, to exactly make you feel how he dances. So like that, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced in Srivasangan or on the road or wherever he was dancing, his dancing was so ecstatic, the body movements were such, it couldn't be described in words. So repeatedly, Sri Chaitanya Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, while writing, was constantly maintaining his very low situation of consciousness, humility, considering himself the lowest of all, constantly maintained that consciousness, how lowly he is. And he was writing all the time. So humility is very extraordinary, standing out like anything when you read Chaitanya Charitamrita. Such literature cannot come out of arrogance or ego or knowledge or expertise in writing or your eloquence or your writing skills. Such kind of literature comes only by the mercy of Vaishnavas. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was immersed in the mercy of his humility and the mercy of devotees. So he could write Chaitanya Charitamrita. He also wrote Govinda Lilamrita. He wrote many things. It's not only Chaitanya Charitamrita. He was a very prolific writer. But see his mood, most wonderful mood. So coming back to Raghunath Das Goswami, he was residing at Radhakund, and he would do such bhajan. Every day he would offer Dandavat to 2,000 Vaishnavas. And he would chant 200,000 names of Lord Krishna. Amazing sadhana he was doing. But his sadhana was not counting. He was counting, but the focus was not on counting. He was so immersed. At one time at Radhakund, he was so immersed, and a tiger came to drink water in Radhakund. So tiger could have harmed him. So Krishna appeared with a stick in the hand and chased the tiger away to protect Raghunath Das. And Raghunath Das did not know at all what happened. He was immersed. But Sanatana Goswami was watching this Leela. He saw Krishna also, and he saw Sanatana Goswami also. And being a senior devotee, came and chastised Raghunath. You are staying in Braj Bhumi to serve Krishna or to take service from Krishna. What kind of japa is this in which you are engaging Krishna in your service? He said, what happened? So Krishna came with a stick in the hand to chase the tiger away. But still he did not take the suggestion of Sanatana Goswami seriously. That why don't you chant in a kuti? Why don't you make a kuti or a hut for yourself? So that tiger and every other dangerous things will not... Because nowadays Radhakund is the most populated, thickly visited area. But in those days it was in the middle of jungle. Why tiger would come to drink water there? Unless it is a jungle. So he didn't take it seriously. He still continued chanting in the banks of Radhakund. And then came summer. And he was immersed in chanting in the scorching, burning sun. Even skin was burning. But he was totally oblivious, chanting Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And at that time, Radharani could not tolerate the situation of Raghunath. So she appeared there and spread her veil over Raghunath, giving him shadow. And there were droplets of sweat coming out of her forehead and falling down. So bearing the heat herself, she protected Raghunath. And again Sanatana Goswami saw. And this time he really chastised him. This time Radharani came, your most worshipable personality. She's coming and serving you. What kind of a devotee you are? So that time he made a kuti at the bank of Radhakund and started chanting inside. And by the way, Radhakund was known as Kankan Kund before, because it was dug by the bangles of gopis, Kankana. So it's called Kankan Kund. Today also there is a border of Kankan Kund inside Radhakund as a sub-kund of Radhakund. If you empty the kund for cleansing, then you will come to know an unbreakable border is there inside. You cannot break it with JCB also. They have tried. They can't break it. Such kind of construction is there. And that is Kankan Kund. But then on the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed Radhakund Shamkund to the world and instructed Raghunath Das Goswami to construct beautiful kund. So Radhakund and Shamkund were built by Raghunath Das Goswami. When rich man came to donate some money to Badrinath, with a lot of wealth he went to Badrinath. But Lord Badrinath, Badri Vishal appeared to him and said, don't give me the wealth. Go to Vrindavan, Radhakund, where a sadhu named Raghunath Das Goswami is there. You offer this wealth to him and he will build Radhakund and Shamkund. So that rich man all the way came to Vrindavan searching for Raghunath Das Goswami. And then Raghunath Das Goswami built Radhakund and Shamkund. And there are so many pastimes took place while he was reconstructing Radhakund and Shamkund. Pandavas came in his dream and told, don't cut us to extend Shamkund. We are worshipping, doing our bhajan at the banks of Shamkund. So he just made it zigzag. And still there is a place where Yudhishthira tree is existing, but not alive. Like that, so many pastimes took place when he was renovating Radhakund and Shamkund. Because he was not renovating a small place. He was renovating the best of the spiritual world place, manifested in the material world. So, on today's auspicious day, these three great Goswamis of our Sampradaya, they have left this world on different years. We offer our humble obeisances and humbly seek their blessings and hope by their blessings to serve our Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu, and all the Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Hari Bol. Are there any questions? Yes, we can take one question. Speak, speak. On whose instruction you do Archa Vigraha Puja? On the instruction of Vaishnavas, on the instruction of Gurudev. Archa Vigraha Puja is a domain of the spiritual master. So when spiritual master is even not there, when on his instruction or on the instruction of his representatives, when you enter the altar to do Archa Vigraha Puja, you are directly serving your Guru Maharaj. Because Archa Vigraha Puja is a domain of the spiritual master. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Raghunath Das Goswami Maharaj ki, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami ji ki, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ji ki, Brahma ji Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Hari Bol. Amazing, Prabhu, amazing. Such sweet, such beautiful. Prabhu is our katha.